So we'll cover a topic here in a minute. There's an article that's talking about, do we have a vet crisis going on in the workforce? And I'm going to give you a little bit of evidence about what's going on that you may not see in articles right now. But aside from us, owning an employment boost and doing, college planning and career planning and all that fun stuff, our holding company also owns several other career service companies that are in recruiting and executive search. Now, one of those companies do quite a bit of work in the vet space, finding veterinarians and placing them. We have never received so many calls from clinics looking for vets in 20 years of being in business. I bet once or twice a week we get calls from clinics and animal hospitals looking for vets. We have never seen anything like this before, and that is how short the workforce is right now for veterinarians. So if you think about that, we don't know if that's just this initial COVID pet boom or if there's something else going on. I read an article, where was it? It's in Canada, and they're talking about they're only graduating like 350 veterinarians a year, and that only keeps up with the amount of people retiring every year. So they're not actually making any gains. Which, if we're buying more and more pets and breeding more and more pets, this is an issue. We don't have enough vets. We don't have enough animal hospitals to take care of all the pets we're breeding. So if you go read this article, I'm looking at it from the side of the calls we get as a recruiting company. Yeah, it seems like we have a workforce crisis right now. And there could be an issue where now too many people are going to go become vets, and then by the time you graduate college, the market would be saturated. I mean, that's always a possibility. But as of right now, today, there is definitely a shortage from what we see on our end. We get so many calls from all across the country. And I'm going to back that up with another story. Something that I know someone that experienced just this weekend. Their pet, what's today? Tuesday? So Thursday, their pet got sick, and they're trying to find an animal hospital to take it to. Everywhere they called, they were saying 4 hour, 6 hour, 8 hour wait. Now this is for an emergency center. Keep in mind. So imagine if you were sick and you had to go to the hospital, and the emergency room told you 8 hours. Yeah, it doesn't sound very good. So they finally found a place, and they had to wait in the parking lot about 4 hours. Finally got the animal in, and then they're so busy they ended up getting discharged probably a little bit too soon, but they're so overwhelmed they're trying to see as many patients as possible. Well, they got home, their dog was still very sick, and they had to go back. They had to wait in the parking lot another 3 or 4 hours to get back into the emergency room where the pet stayed for a couple days. But just talking to them, they found out how understaffed they are. They're short on vets. They're short on staff in the clinic. Everything's just short right now. And, they thought, okay, well, this happens again. I'm going to call around. Well, they called around, and a lot of the places weren't even taking anybody because they were so busy. Even by me, there's a local vet that's got, a sign on their door saying they're not accepting any new patients. And that's not an animal hospital. It's just a regular vet. It's just they're so overwhelmed, and they can't get enough staff that they have to stop. They're only going to service their current customers. So it's just one of those things that if you look at it right now in this moment in time, we're very short on the veterinary workforce. And, this could cause a flood of people to go into the space, and then there could be too many vets graduating. But as of right now, it's like, is there a concern that we have? Are we even keeping up with the amount of people retiring and exiting the workforce right now, let alone trying to keep up with the current boom, the big pet boom we got going on? But, something we do on the college planning side, we always look at, we don't trust these rankings 100%, but we always look at outcomes. We look at, where do people that go to UC Davis end up? Where do people like Cornell end up? I mean, we know Cornell's a good name. We know UC Davis is a good name. We're always looking at the college, and Ohio State, Michigan State University. We're here in Michigan, one of our offices. Where are they ranked? 17. I mean, I know they get recruited out of quite often. But we always look at outcomes. It's not just brand names or because, you're your parents went there, or you like the football team. It's where do people that go there, where they end up, what's the longevity of their career, how much success do they have. And we also plant the seed of, well, what happens if you go through all this and one day you don't want to be a vet anymore. Then we want to look at the other probabilities of where do you end up. And that's a lot of the stuff we do in college planning. But if you had to ask a question, if we had to answer the question right now, no, if you're going to go to school to become a vet, was that a good idea? I'd say, hey, if it's something you love and it's something the market needs, usually not a bad move. And I think that's something that you get told your whole life to chase your passion, do what you love, chase your passion. But if there's no need for your love or no need for what you're passionate about, you're going to end up broke. So you always have to keep in mind, no matter what program you're selecting for college, it doesn't really matter. The world doesn't really care what you like, what you have a passion for. If there's no need for it, you're going to struggle. So we know the world needs vets. It says, how many vets will we need in 5 or 10 years? That's the question we got to figure out. So anyways, if you have any questions, drop a comment below or contact us. You can always go to our website and book a 10-minute informational consultation. It doesn't cost any money. You kind of tell us what you're looking for or what problem you're trying to solve, and we'll see if we can help you. But until then, we'll catch you on the next one.